So basically, I've already said my piece about the Lincoln Continental concept, which you'll be seeing at the New York Auto Show. Lincoln jumped the gun in order to steal some of Cadillac's thunder by releasing pictures of the Lincoln Continental concept, not letting anybody actually get in it yet until press time starts at the show. But basically, I was very disappointed to find out that, Ford hasn't learned anything and that they're actually stupid enough to release a car that's this big with only a V6 twin-turboed engine. As I've already stated, the age group that's actually cares about Lincoln or Cadillac, who actually has the money to buy a car like this, demands a V8. And basically, Mercedes-Benz is going to end up getting a lot of conquest sales when those people take their money over and buy a Mercedes S-Class W222. Now, I have to say, some of the interior photos of the Lincoln do look fabulous. Unfortunately, after you've experienced the W222, everything just feels like it's a little bit less. Now, I've looked at these panels and everything, and frankly, what I'm really seeing is I'm seeing a lot of Jaguar XJL in the Lincoln. However, instead of knocking it, I will say that it does look pretty good, and I've heard that the carpeting feels great, and I can't wait to experience it. Unfortunately, the Lincoln Continental concept is just a concept. Who knows how much of this is going to actually make it into a final production model after the Ford bean counters get their hands on it. So, basically, GM decided not to let Lincoln steal all its glory. So they got up off their ass and they released pictures of the CT6 interior so we could find out what it was going to be like. Stupidly, GM is going with the 2.0-liter turbo engine to move this massive behemoth. And that engine only puts out 265 horsepower. That engine is also followed by two other engines. There's going to be a 3.6-liter direct injection engine that gives you 335. So you're basically talking about the same engine that came out of the STS and the CTS of last year, or the last model before they changed it. And you're also going to have a twin-turbo V6 that offers you 400 horsepower. The one that Cadillac claims the STS-V Sport had, which is blowing everybody's doors off, where that shit ain't happening when you bring that piece of garbage around a Challenger or a Charger Hellcat. That's not happening. So anyway, that's what you're looking at. You're going to have to end up probably spending about $100,000 to get a twin-turbo V6 powered CT6. And if it's not $100,000, it'll probably be more like in the high 90s. So you'll be talking about like loaded Escalade money for basically what amounts to a stretched XTS that has the CTS's front end on the front of it to make it look like it's new and improved and better. Guess what, everybody? This is what happens when bean counters have more of a say in your company than the people whose money you're actually trying to get. I looked at these pictures of the interior, and what's amazing is that it really looks exactly like an XTS with a couple of changes made to the Q system since they realized they screwed up so badly with the touch feedback and whatnot, and all these old people who are buying the car complaining that they're having trouble just getting simple commands input so that they can do simple things like navigation and phone use, etc. It's absolutely pathetic to know that right now Kia is building the K900 with a more powerful V8 than any of GM's non-supercharged engines like the one that they used in the CTS-V. That's sad, pathetic, and ridiculous. And the funny thing about it is Kia doesn't really even advertise the K900 that much here in America, yet the K900 is exactly the car that Lincoln and Cadillac should be building. So instead of giving you the V8 that you really wanted, what they're deciding is to double down on tech features such as the BOSE 34-piece audio system. Only a rich dummy would allow BOSE to convince them that they only need one speaker in their house, but they need 34 speakers in their car. Am I excited by the CT6? Absolutely not. In fact, the STS-V seems like a far superior value when you compare it to the CT6 or what they're showing us thus far, but there's absolutely nothing to blow our skirts up. There's absolutely nothing here to really shock me. In fact, I really preferred the look of the Lincoln Continental concept. at this point. While Lincoln and Cadillac used to be the quintessential American big luxury V8, apparently Chrysler has to take their place. People with these new 300 SRTs, these new Dodge Chargers with their Hemi engines, and people like Shaq who just purchased a new Hellcat Charger, we're burning up the blocks and letting tires melt off while these people over at GM and Ford are talking about putting twin turbos on a 4-cylinder. When you aren't giving buyers exactly what they want, how are you supposed to compete with the Mercedes S-Class W222? It's easily the best riding, smoothest, most luxurious car on the road, and it doesn't cost that much more than one of your cars is going to cost. How the hell are you going to compete with that thing?